The Living Your Best Life Experiment, Week 28, Chapter 4. The Magic Little Sponge. This week's chapter looks at how we don't intentionally do things to self-sabotage ourselves. And most times the things that we do are subconscious. And how there's a lot of things in life that we have grown accustomed to, or we're just dead to it, or we've taken on the mentality that that's just the way that it is. I think a lot of people get stuck in this just the way that it is mentality because for them, this stuff is normal. And without knowing that this isn't normal and that's not how things have to be, is where they get stuck. And when they start realizing that things don't have to be that way and that there is a different way, then that's when things start happening for them. And it really starts talking about how the things we subconsciously do are shaped by what we're exposed to growing up, beliefs, ideas, experiences, and that wherever you are right now, you got yourself here. So how did you get here? So he equates this to a sponge. So as when we're born, we're this magic little baby sponge. And as we grow up, things get caught in our sponge. And eventually our sponge dries up. And you've lost the magic absorbency that is a sponge. Until you end up at the point that your sponge is all stained and tainted, you have things caught inside of it, it's all dried out, and that is a horrible, horrible visual. So it talks about how when you're this little baby magic sponge, how the options and possibilities are vast, and the combination of experiences you can have are limitless, and still our choices have ended up where we are at. So he asks us to ask why. And there's a quote in there that says, "We are born as many men, but die as one." And he talks about how when we're younger, that things are a lot more externalized, that our lives are lived in the moments that we're present for. It's about the things that are happening around us. And as we get older, it really gets internalized, and it's more about the things that happen to us. And he says that life is lived in the moments that you were present for. And that talks about how we internalize that, and we're always looking for something to make us happy, the next promotion, losing weight, whatever it is. And he says if you're always looking to be happy, you always start from a place of being unhappy. So when you have that mindset, you're always going to be starting from a place of being unhappy. Because once you finally get to the place where your goal is, say, that promotion, you get that promotion. Once you finally get there, you figure out that you're still the same person. You still have the same thoughts, the same mentalities as when you began. The only thing different is that you have this new promotion. And then it starts on a cycle. You obtain that goal, you feel the euphoria from it, and eventually you start coming down from that, and you look for your next experience, your next goal, your next high. And it could be something like a new car, a new house, something external from yourself to feed your need for happiness. But then he says, the more complex that life becomes, the more unhappy that you are. So the more things that you add into your life, the more things you have to do, the more things you have to achieve, the more things you have to be, the more unhappy we are. And the fact of the matter is, everything that we need is right in front of us. So everything you need to be happy right now is already in front of you. And he gives you a reminder that you need to check in and wake up and start experiencing what's going on around you and start taking stock of what you actually have. You know, he doesn't like to use the term gratitude or gratefulness or stuff like that, but basically take inventory of what you have in your life and what you are happy about with your life. Then he says, if you really want to change, to make long-term permanent change to yourself, to your subconscious, and how you view the world and deal with the world, so we need to stop drifting from one drama to the next and really commit to putting an end to those self-sabotaging behaviors. And then he ends on kind of a funny note, saying that he doesn't think that it's a good idea for you to go around telling people that you've finally figured out that you're a sponge and all you have to do is figure out how to clean out the nooks and crannies and everything will be good. He says, what happens in Sponge Club stays in Sponge Club. So that was this week's chapter. I found this chapter kind of long-winded this week, and it really took a lot of effort for me to get through it. But having gotten through it, I'm glad I did. And I think I am now a member of the Sponge Club. So until next week, have a good one. Bye.